Working with layers is a fundamental concept in Photoshop and digital drawing. And if you look over here, you'll see that I've got my layers panel open. The first thing I'm going to teach you is how to make a brand new layer without having to click on the plus button. I want to share with you keyboard shortcuts because it'll help you work more efficiently. Now, it's okay if you don't have these keyboard shortcuts memorized, but I'll keep saying them, and over time, hopefully, you'll remember them and then you'll be able to use them. And it will definitely speed up your workflow. And the first keyboard shortcut is Shift Command N, or Shift Control N on a Windows machine. This gives you the dialog box to make a new layer. At this point, you can type in the layer name. If you wish, you can assign a color for a specific layer. I'll just go ahead and choose orange. And you can even control the mode and the opacity, but we're not worried about those two parameters just yet. Let's click OK, and you can see that we've made a new layer. If I want to make a new layer quicker without seeing that dialog box, then I have to add one extra key. So I would have to type in Shift Option Command N, or Shift Alt Control N on a Windows machine. And that also makes a new layer without opening up the dialog box. Now, if I were to use my brush tool, click on my brush tool and pick a color and just make a mark, you can see here that this brush is creating this red line. If I want to make that layer transparent or a little bit more invisible, what I can do is I can go up to the layer's opacity. So I'm on layer 3, I've made a mark on layer 3, and I can just drop the opacity down to whatever value that I want, which is pretty neat. Now, you might be looking at your version of Photoshop and saying, well, I don't really see my thumbnails as clearly as you do, and there's a setting for that. So in order to make the thumbnail images larger so you can see what is on the thumbnail, if you go underneath the background layer and right click, you'll want to choose the following options: large thumbnails, as well as clip thumbnails to layer bounds. What that does is, it's really nice because I can make say a small dot, and you can see that dot really prominently with that setting in place. Normally, if you're using Photoshop in its default configuration, it's normally set to clip thumbnails to document bounds. And so you can barely see a dot on layer 2. That dot is there, but now it's showing me that dot with respect to the entire canvas. So I prefer to use clip thumbnails to layer bounds and large thumbnails just because it makes it much easier for me to see what's on a specific layer. And that might not seem like it's important now, but as you get more versed in digital drawing, it's not uncommon to have maybe anywhere between 20 to, I've had up to 150 layers within one Photoshop document. And at that point, you really want to be able to know what's on each layer. So opacity is an important parameter, as is being able to control and see what's on each layer as well. Now, the last tip I'm going to leave with you is if we go back to our Move tool and click on the Move tool, let me show you a really neat trick. If I wanted to make this dot layer, layer 2, if I wanted to make that more transparent, I can just type in a number. Like if I wanted it to be 50% transparent, I can type in the number 50. And notice that that number changes to 50. If I want it to be 20%, I can type in 2, and that makes it 20%. Now, this will only work as long as you have the Move tool active. You need to make sure the Move tool is turned on, and then you can use the keyboard to input the opacity. So what if I wanted, say, 99%? I can just quickly type in 99, and there you go, 99% opacity. So I hope you found this video to be informative. These are just a few things that you should know before we begin drawing that I think will help you out. And over the course of the next several videos, I will be going over keyboard shortcuts. I will be repeating myself in many cases, but the idea is it's to help you remember things better, because once you remember it, hopefully it will stick and you'll be able to put those items into practice. So I'll see you in the next video.